Are you good? Alright, so we started the first video on the building the double-sided VIVO 24x36 mobile whiteboard. We finished up the bottom half of the frame. Our camera ran out of taping ability, so we had to do a step 2 for this. So if you watch the first video, you see where we got to this step, and we'll continue on from there now. So if you want to catch up, if you need to follow through for the rest of the video, you can go back and watch part 1 and you'll see how to do the bottom half. So we're on step 3, which is attaching the marker tray and the rotation lock to the mid support. So we'll do that right now, and then we'll go on from there, and we shouldn't take too long to finish up. So this is the tray here. There's a slot in the bottom that'll just fit right over where you want to be, so you can just line it up with the holes. The 2 holes on the insides, when I looked at those, they look like they're not right, because the upper one on the one side and then the lower is opposite on the other side. So that confused me, but when I got looking at the other parts, they actually fit it like that. I don't know why they built it that way, but maybe it's just easier for them to drill the holes or something. So anyway, that slides over that. Just line up with the holes that are there. And then this is your lock plate for that, which is just goes on there basically right over the hole, and there's 2 small holes there. It says to install this with the 2 Phillips screws that it came with. They don't tell you need a Phillips screwdriver in the instructions, which is why I brought a multi screwdriver with me, because even though it says you don't need it, sometimes you do. So if you bring extra parts with you, then you don't have to run out and get them later. So always bring extra stuff for tools that you think you might need. It just makes more sense than having to stop and go find something. Anyway, so these just screw in. They're machine head screws, but they look like they'd be a wood screw type of head on it, so I don't understand that, but anyways, we'll just put them on. So just torque those up. Right, now, once you have those on, you're gonna put these, the slide connector supports, which are these. These have the holes in them that match the holes on the sides. Halfway into them, there is like a hard plate in there, so it can only go down so far. But you're still gonna have to line up the screw holes when you put it on there, so that they actually match the holes you have. They're not quite 100%, but they're close enough for what you need. So line those up on there. So slide support connectors, D onto lower vertical supports. Secure each with the 2x M4 screws, and again tighten with a Phillips screwdriver. So these M4 screws are 2x M4. Yeah, so there's 8 of those. So these are these little ones that they gave you here. So it says to put these on this way. So you're just gonna tighten these up. Again with the Phillips. understand why they have these ones Phillips and all the rest of them are hex or Allen keys, but anyway, this is what they want you to do, so, oops, sorry. They're quite long, the screws actually. I'm surprised they use such a long screw for that. So tighten those up. I believe the upper support arms are going to go in the other half of these and get screwed on the exact same way. And then I think from there we'll probably be installing the whiteboard from there. But we'll see in a second. Alright, that's that side. I just got a screw on the other side of those. And then those bottom supports will be done. See, that's where I'm going to lining up the holes. They don't even look even close there. Flip it. Still, they're not drilled exactly to line up, which is kind of a little bit of a pain. This is some of the problems that you run into with these types of builds, that they don't machine the holes properly, and then it doesn't fit quite the way you want. That's fully down, but that's too far now. That's right there. These are terribly off. Let's see if we can get the one in. I'll try to get the other one to start too. Okay, that one's started. If you want to come and show the hole here, you just see what I mean by how far off they drill them. If you looked in there, the hole's not straight.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So it's a little bit harder to get the screw to start. Just try and get it, angle it the best you can to get to that hole to grip it. If you can get it to grab, you might be alright. But I can't seem to get it to catch, which might be a problem. Yeah, it's not catching. Why they would do that?
I wonder if you banged it a little bit on the side, maybe? Would that work?
They're not, the hole in the metal is not lined up. They didn't drill it like perfect to line up to the screw holes. So that's where you're running into the problem there. We may only get the one screw in the bottom here. This may be just the way it is. You can't re-drill the metal because it's tapped for the screw. So if we can't get the screw in,
you can tell it's off too.
you can see how far off it is. This can't be wrong. Like, it fits over the hole, so it has to be straight. But that's how far out it is.
It looks to me more like it's better now than what it was.
Well, we'll see if it catches.
I can put my foot on this too, so it's steady for you.
Yeah, see how far of an angle I need it on?
Yeah.
get it to try and catch. But
I see what you're saying, though. You don't want to wreck it either.
I might be lucky and just be able to bend it in there.
Oops, sorry.
Well,
Oh, yeah?
I got lucky on that one for how far off they were. We ended up getting it to catch. So, yeah, even if it's that far out, just try and put it in on an angle and get it to catch. And then you'll be able to get it in. It's a little bit tight going in, but if you can get it to catch, then it will secure it on there for you. Okay, so as I said, once they're on, you're gonna put the top vertical supports on, which are basically these supports, which are almost identical. They have 2 thread holes the same way, so you're just gonna pop them in the next part of it and line those holes up again, and then put the next 2 screws in.
Do you want me to hold it again?
No, that's okay. These ones just sit.
Those ones look like they're pretty easy to go in.
Oh yeah, and then these holes actually, the top holes, lined up a little better than the bottom ones did, I think. Well, maybe. There we go. Just had to play with it a little bit there. Okay, so I'll just tighten these ones up on this side, put the other 2 on as it rolls away on me.
You should have put the locks on the wheels.
So there's 1. We're pretty much there now. I think from here you probably put the whiteboard on, but I'm not completely sure yet. We'll see in a minute. There is caps that go over the top of it, so, but I think you gotta probably put the whiteboard in first. So we'll tighten that up, and then put the other side on, and do the same. So it's pretty tall, like I'm over 6 feet, but it is almost as tall as I am. Well, it's definitely up to my chest. By the time you put the board on, it'll sit up quite a bit higher, so it's gonna be pretty tall. So depending on what you want it for, Alright, try not to block you here. These ones are, this is, I don't know if this is the same side I had the problems with on the first one.
No.
Oh, it was the other side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This one seems to be being a little bit stubborn, but no, it's not as bad as that other one was. Okay, so they're both in, they just have to be tightened. So, that's almost all the way. We're out of screws, so I don't think there's a whole lot left to do.
Just put those pluggy things in, I think.
Yeah, the plugs we didn't put in the bottom will have to go in. They're just to cover the screw holes, so nothing major there. Just get this last screw tightened up. Alright, so step 5, insert vertical supports. We did that, and the screws. Alright, slide board A into frame. Cover open ends of vertical support using pull caps. Push the rotator lock down to release and rotate the board. So, this is the whiteboard. It's actually built really well. It's got a complete steel frame on it, as you can see here. It's coated in plastic, which you're going to want to take off before you put it on, or you're not going to be able to get that all off afterwards. So I'd like to try and just take it off the metal, but we might have to just take it
Yeah,
off.
whatever. It's gonna have to go off anyways, right?
So, like I said, it's made very solid and well built, the whiteboard part.
Okay. I can
So-
pull it for you if you want.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's built very well, the whiteboard part itself. So, these go, you just slide those in those connectors there and into the lock. And then these caps basically just slide over each side of it. Okay.
It is almost as tall as
So,
you, right?
yeah, so I'm a little bit over 6 feet. I'm like 6'2", and it's probably almost 6 feet tall. So, like I said, with the wheels, you can roll it around. Now it says it's a flip board, so it says to push down on this, and it should flip. Oh, there we go. It's got a spring. See that releases it, and then you can just flip it over, pull the release down, and then lock it back into place on the other side. So spring down, flip it, spring down, done. Very nice. The tray's pretty cheap made. It's plastic and it's like flimsy, but that's just for your markers anyway, so that's not a
And your
big
dry
deal.
erase.
The spring piece is a little bit loose. I give it a pretty good rating, I guess. Quality wise, it's got locking wheels, and I don't know, I'd say probably at least an 8 out of 10 as far as I can tell right now. Like I say, there's a couple of little tiny flaws in the design of the screws to put together, but once you get it all together, you can flip this from either side and flip it over. I guess if you're writing on the other side, you might want to write upside down and then, or write your side over and then flip it, because, and then it'll be just upside down when it flips over. Because if you write it on the back and then go to flip it, you're gonna have all your words upside down on you. So write what you need on the back, flip it over, and then write what you want on the front if you're using both sides for what you're doing for your presentation or whatever. You're gonna definitely want to make sure you remember that part. But as far as everything else goes, I think it's a pretty good product. It seemed to turn out pretty well. I'd say at least an 8 or maybe a 9 out of 10. They say we'll find out when we write on it, like how it goes that way. Sorry, these are the little white caps here. I didn't actually show you these, but tiny little white caps. So they just plug into these holes where we put the bolts in. They just basically snap in to cover those holes. They don't even actually snap. They're actually pretty cheap pieces of little plastic. Like, they're pretty loose actually. The holes are a little bigger than they probably should have been for those. I don't know. But like I say, it's not a pain in the butt to put them on. I guess it's probably just as easy to take them off if you needed to. But yeah, other than that, like I say, this is, you're looking at $110 delivered, from, Amazon. This is a VIVO, 24 by 32, 36, mobile double-sided whiteboard. And as you've seen, it's spring-loaded there and flips end for end. I guess you might want your tray out. Like I say, the tray's pretty flimsy, but that's maybe why I take the 1 point off. They could have, if they made everything else metal and such quality on the whiteboard, they probably could have put a metal plate here for the tray rather than just a cheap plastic one. And this spring was a little bit tight, but once you get moving it, it doesn't seem to work too bad. The wheels lock, so you can lock them, but other than that, it seems like it's not too bad. So anyways, if you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. Again, it's a VIVO whiteboard. You can find them on Amazon. This one was $110. There's other ones that mount on your wall or whatever, but we wanted one we could move around for our recording studio, depending on what we needed it for. We've done a few videos on this room. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but if you want to go back and look, we've been working on this room as far as building our studio in here. And you can go back and check those out, and you see the sound boards on the walls. My wife made a stand over here that's made out of wooden crates that she built. That's all just pine stands that she stained herself, and we set it up the way she wanted it, and we bolted it together into a full final piece. That'll get plants and stuff put on it. We put in the lighting around the walls that's done as well. We have new curtains going in. That's a brand new light put in. It's all LED light with speaker built into it, which plays music out of it or whatever you want. So the floors were carpeted, but they are actually hardwood, so we pulled up the carpet, put new plug receptors and a new vent plug on top. So as I say, this room's about 95% done now. So if you want to see the videos on how we did this room and see what a disaster it was before we started, you can watch those videos as well. If you have any other videos you'd like us to do, feel free to let us know. And if you have any ideas or complaints about the video, just leave them. We'll take complaints or compliments. Either way, we'd like to know so we can do better in the future. That's probably it for today, but I hope you enjoyed the video. Anyways, have a good day, and remember to subscribe, please, to our channel. Thank you. Have a good day.